But now, like, having gone through a rough time financially, we're like, okay, we got to sit down. We have to budget. We have to get on the same page. And it's been strengthening for our marriage. And I think that's where I have a different aspect, like, different perspective of it. Because I'm like, I think if you don't open yourself up to that financial vulnerability with your spouse and you guys don't work through, you know, your bad spending habits and my bad spending habits and you figure out how to be on the same team, I think you're missing an aspect of marriage, actually.
Hi, welcome back to another episode of Dear Dilemma. I'm Brooke.
And I'm Hannah.
And today's Thursday. I almost said Tuesday.
It's Thursday.
But it's Thursday. It's been a crazy week. We hope your week hasn't been crazy.
Yeah. I hope you're having a great week. And we have kind of a controversial topic today.
We do. Hannah, what is that topic?
Well, we're going to be talking about combining finances in marriage. So some people choose to do this. Some people are totally against it. Some people are just like, I'm not going to do that. And are combined finances essential for a healthy marriage? And what are the exceptions? And also, us being Christian, what's like the Christian viewpoint on that too? So we have a lot. We got a lot to dig into today.
I'm going to be honest. I don't know the Christian.
You don't know the Christian value of it?
The value that you're supposed to combine?
Yeah. Do you want me to explain why?
Yeah, I know. I read the Bible, guys, but I forget what's in that book.
That's okay. I mean, you can be Christian and not even not know. I don't know any like particular Bible verses.
Yeah.
But what I've heard from like a lot of pastors and different Christian like speakers and stuff is that when you get married, you're supposed to become one, obviously.
Yes.
So combining as one includes all aspects: spiritual, physical, financial, everything. So like when you're basically saying, hey, like I do, it includes all of it. So I think that there's like some people that definitely agree with that, and maybe even if you're not Christian, you're just like, it just makes sense for us to combine finances. And then other people, I mean,
like me,
like Brooke,
I have always not been against it, just I have never wanted to do that.
What can I ask why? Is it
my
just
money's
because you're
my
really
money.
like independent and you just don't want to like...
I think I'm overly independent, and my money's my money and your money's your money.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have to talk to we're so opposite. Talk to my spouse like, hey, I'm going on a trip, just want to let you know I'm going to be pulling this much out. Like my money's, as long as like we both together are paying the bills.
Yeah.
Then whatever you make, you can do with your money as long as bills are paid. And same thing with me. I don't want to have to almost feel like
you have to ask for permission or something. Do you think it matters on salary? Like if you make significantly more than your spouse or you make significantly less than your spouse, do you think that's more of a difficult thing to combine finances?
Yeah, because then I don't think it's fair, or I would feel guilty if I wasn't contributing as much than my spouse. And I know that happens. Like not everyone who you're with is going to make the exact same amount of you, but maybe close to it. But let's say like I'm working part-time at a school and we've got kids and my husband's working 50 hours a week and he's the breadwinner.
Yeah.
I would feel guilty not being able to contribute. But that's me. That's just me as an individual.
Right. No, I see what you're saying. I think I've heard of people also like they'll combine finances, but they'll have more of just like one shared account for like everything that you would typically need to share. So like a household account, like mortgage, utilities, groceries, kids daycare, whatever. But then they have their own separate savings accounts, and then they'll only contribute like a percentage. So like he makes $100,000, you make, I don't know, $60,000. He provides 60% of the income. You provide like 40% of the income to that account. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
But like, you would contribute based on how much you make.
Yeah, I would feel comfortable if if we kept our separate accounts, and maybe it's because I come from divorced parents and I just don't want to have to deal with that process if that were to happen. Not that I think
That's
like,
fair.
oh my gosh, we're going to, get divorced, but that's
It's
what
possible.
I come from. And money is such, and people are like, no, divorce, money's not a factor. Yes, it is. I've seen it, and it brings out the ugly in people, not just with like my parents, but friends and people I've talked to. It's just an ugly situation, and I don't want to deal with that. But I would agree to combine or start a bank account together, like you said, putting the mortgage and utilities in it, or starting a fund, like if we were to have kids, an emergency fund, and we both put in each month or every paycheck like $100 or $200 each, and that would be together.
Yeah.
So we'd have that as an emergency or whatever. I agree to that. I just know that my money is my money. I've paid my bills. Things are taken care of. I don't want to have to be like, oh, well, that's just me. And I'm not saying for, like, same thing with people who don't work and their spouses pay for everything, and that's just like, but their spouse wants them to not work. They're like, no, I'll cover everything.
I want you to stay home.
Then I feel like I have to ask for an allowance, and then that's weird.
Yeah. I mean, I think every situation
What's your
is different.
aspect?
Well,
you're different than me.
I am.
That's okay.
My husband and I both really fully, like, just dove into marriage, and we combined all of our finances. It kind of happened oddly, though. I think we combined everything actually like right before we got married, because he was deployed, and our bank that we both banked at randomly was closing, and it was getting like taken over. So we essentially like pooled all of our money together, and then we're like, we'll get it figured out once you get back from deployment. And then we ended up getting married like later, so then it was just fine. But the hard part, I think, is that like my husband had no school debt, no car debt, nothing like that. And I brought in college debt and car debt into our marriage at the time. Now, my car was, like, almost paid off, but it still was something, that he didn't have. And then we've, accumulated debt together and stuff. But part of, like, us now is that we've had to work through, like, job loss and different things. And so it's really opened our eyes to how we communicate about finances. Yeah. I used to just, like, handle everything, and we used to make about like the same amount. So we never felt like we had to ask each other for things unless it was a big purchase. Like, hey, I'm about to buy something that's $300. Is that cool? And then I'll be like, oh, yeah, that's fine. Or maybe I'll say, can you wait till next payday?
Yes.
So for us, it wasn't like we ever had to ask, hey, I'm going to buy $150 on Amazon of stuff that I want. Like, we just gave each other, like, free reign as long as everything was taken care of and we were able to cover finances. And thankfully, we were really blessed to be able to do that. We weren't living paycheck to paycheck at that time. But now, like, having gone through a rough time financially, we're like, okay, we got to sit down. We have to budget. We have to get on the same page. And it's been strengthening for our marriage, and I think that's where I have a different aspect, like different perspective of it, because I'm like, I think if you don't open yourself up to that financial vulnerability with your spouse, and you guys don't work through, your bad spending habits and my bad spending habits, and you figure out how to be on the same team, I think you're missing an aspect of marriage, actually.
I see that you make a good point on that too, because I think if it works and you're able to communicate and it runs smoothly and you learn things, it's awesome. But then there's also the aspect of some relationships it doesn't work that smoothly, and then they find out maybe there was some financially spending that they never knew about, or like gambling issues and things like that, and that can go south.
Or like maxed out credit card debt that they had no idea that their spouse had.
They're like taking money out of the combined bank, and then one of the person finds out they're doing it, and they're like, where's this going? And then they're lying about something. So I think there's definitely good points to it, and then I think there's some bad points to it too. It just really depends on who you're with, and what's your story, and what's going on,
and how you work through it too. I mean, I think it was almost like embarrassing at one point, because I'm like, I have to admit that like this, like, I spend too much.
I'm on Amazon way too much.
Yeah, like, and so then I'm like, okay, I know I need to work on this, and he's like, yeah, but I need to work on this, and I'm like, okay, well, we need to hold each other accountable.
Yes.
So we know each other's weaknesses, we know each other's strengths, and so now it's like, it's different, because now we're like, okay, well, we have this debt, and we want to tackle it together, and we've been on the same team, and we've been more transparent about our habits, And
can't be any finger pointing.
Yes.
Like, you're the issue. You're doing this. I haven't been doing this.
And thankfully we both have our flaws, but
where I come in, and I'm like, it's me, and it's probably where I should probably go see a therapist. I'm a little bit too independent. I'm too, like, I gotta just do it on my own.
I do get that, though, because it's hard. Like, for instance, one of my exes, if I had actually gone through marrying him, our finances would have been, I would have always wanted to keep my own finances separate, I think, because I didn't, and I'm not saying this about you and your relationship, I'm just saying I just didn't trust him, because I felt like he was wanting more.
So, like, piggyback off you?
Like an unfair percentage.
Like, he wanted to piggyback. He wanted to be the little baby.
Well, like, I was going to get some money from my grandma, like, put towards my student loans to pay off.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, we should put that towards my student loans. And I'm like, no, we're not married.
Did your grandma die? No, mine did.
Right. So I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. Like, why would I pay off part of your debt when we're not married yet? So then it made me kind of, like, question, you know. But with my husband now, we've just both been, like, working towards the same goal, like the same financial goal. So that's important, I think, in marriage, to figure that out.
I agree. I think there are relationships definitely out there like that. I mean, mine's not, but yeah, definitely out there like that are, well, you got to take care of me. And you're like, take care of yourself. Like, you're grown. What do you, like, you know, if I've ever been in a sticky situation with jobs and stuff, my fiance has been like, well, I can cover you with this, but I'm like, no, you keep your money. I don't. And I know he's trying to help. But I'm like, no, because then I feel like I owe you a debt.
Yeah.
And I may not, but I just don't. And that's just me. It's a personal issue. I should go.
But, you know, even though you guys live together, when you actually move forward with marriage, that could be something maybe that you guys consider, because it's a different level of commitment when you get to the actual, like, I-dos, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah,
but
and, like, buying a house together, whereas I bought my house, so it's mine. But, you know, in the future, if we buy a house together, trying to figure out how are we going to, who's going to pay the mortgage. Like, I know we're both going to pay it, but whose bank account does it need to come out of? Or should we open up a combined one and then we both put that money in it? Like, you know, for me, I'm able to automatically just
withdraw it from
my check. He's more small business, so he's got to physically put that in there and put that aside. But we did that with, like, well, we didn't combine a bank, but we were smart about that with renting together, and, like, obviously with the house now. But that is a topic we'll have to discuss, and that's a situation I'd be okay with. But I don't want to combine it together and then feel like we're not irresponsible by any means.
Everything all together.
Yeah, like, what if I'm trying to buy you a birthday gift? I don't want you to see.
Oh, that's actually just happened because we stopped using any of our credit cards. And so Josh was trying to surprise me for my birthday and bought me, like, a cake and DoorDash. And I'm like, somebody hacked our account.
You're like, we said we were stopping DoorDash.
He's like, oh my gosh, I can't, like, even do that just as a surprise.
Oh. Hannah has a DoorDash issue, but she has overcome it.
Mostly. We do it, like, every, on special occasions, okay? But then I was like, you should have used, like, one of the credit cards just so I didn't see it. He's like, but we're not using them.
Credit card free. It's such a fun life when you don't have a credit card.
Other thing that I think is so crazy, and it becomes, like, a lot more complex, is, like, when you have kids, like you were saying. Like, and then I'll see, like, couples, I don't know if you've seen this, on Venmo, and it's like, they keep paying each other back and forth for, like, bills and stuff. Like, like, you know, $300 for mortgage, and then it'll be like $50 for out to eat, $30 for the grocery, and then, but it's like constantly back and forth, back and forth. Instead of combining, I'm like, why don't you all just open some kind of account together that you can both contribute instead of sending a million Venmo things to each other all month?
Because some people like to keep it separate.
How do you remember all that?
You don't, like, I'll say in our relationship, since we don't have a combined bank, when we go grocery shopping, like, because I do the in-perk, so it's all, I go cut through the thing, and then it's already on my card, and then we just divide it in half, and then he gives me cash or Venmo's me.
Okay. Well,
so that makes sense. But, like, daycare and all that stuff back and forth, at that point, that's when you probably should get, even though let's keep your money separate, that combined account, like, hey, we're going to both contribute,
like, just
X
for
amount
bills.
of money per month.
Because I think it gets like, how do you remember, like, oh, I owe them $50 for this, and then I owe them $30 for this, and then, like, I wouldn't be able to keep it in my brain,
No,
to
me
be
neither.
honest.
Me neither.
But
let us know what you think in the comments.
Yeah.
Does it work for you? Has it not worked for you? Has there been pros? Has there been cons? Do you prefer to be together? Do you prefer to have separate bank accounts?
yeah, I'm really interested on this topic. I feel like it's something that a lot of people have a lot of strong opinions on. And I think everybody's different. Every relationship is different. So we're just interested to hear, you know, what you guys think. And maybe you're on my side. Maybe you're on Brooke's side. Maybe I convinced Brooke a little bit on some things. I don't know. We'll
Probably
see.
not. We'll see. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe on our social media on TikTok, Instagram, and, of course, YouTube at Dear Dilemma Official.
And don't forget to screenshot our QR code and add in your own submission at the bottom.
Bottom of the screen.
Yep.
We'll see you next time.